This news is absolutely crazy when you put it in perspective of everything that's happened in the last few years. And I want to give some insight to this because this is pretty crazy, honestly. This will fundamentally mix up the landscape of anime going forward, potentially, depending on how this is done with IShowSpeed. So let's get right into that. So basically, a few days ago, IShowSpeed went live to let the entire world know that he is now able to stream all of One Piece live for everyone to see on his channel, and his channel has been whitelisted. You know, I'll let him speak for himself. He'll tell you.
In chat, I met the producer of One Piece.
He met the producer, okay, at Toei.
In chat, guess what she said? Guess what the producer of One Piece said, y'all? She said she will let me stream she will whitelist my channel for me to stream all the One Piece episodes on my channel.
That right there is insane. Like, that is actually insane when you put this in perspective to what happened 3 years ago. 3 years ago. Totally Not Mark. You might have heard of him. You might not. It depends on if you dive into anime content creators and stuff. But he makes very good videos on Dragon Ball and One Piece and various other topics. He's a very good content creator. I know not everybody likes him. That's fine. If you don't watch his content, you don't mesh with his content. But he's legitimately, he tries to be genuine. He tries to make good content for people. And basically, out of the blue, Toei Animation started to strike down basically 100 plus of his videos, 150 videos, and I remember him saying that to get all these copyright strikes gone, it would take him a year or a few years just to remove them, effectively killing his channel. And that's what Toei Animation was doing. They were basically pinning him up against the wall and abusing the legal system of the copyright system on YouTube to be able to just get rid of him, completely exterminate him from the platform. And obviously he made videos talking about the situation. A lot of content creators talked about this. I believe Moist Critical as well, he talked about the situation. It became pretty big news. A lot of people was discussing the Totally Not Mark situation. So, seeing the same company that tried to end a man's whole career actually do a 180 and now is allowing IShowSpeed to stream One Piece on their, on his platform is pretty insane stuff. I mean, that is actually insane. So, what does this mean fundamentally going forward? Well, this obviously opens the door for the possibility of these big Japanese companies for anime doing more work with content creators and actually being with the times. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as someone that's had to butt heads with the copyright system a lot in the past as well with these Japanese companies, I know for a fact they love to abuse it. They love to abuse the copyright system. I remember I got a copyright strike years ago on a video, not even showing any footage, not even showing pictures, but just because the thumbnail had an image of an anime on it, and it was striked down. These Japanese companies are very old-fashioned, they're very protective of their property, which is fine, but they're very, very protective to the point it crosses a line, and they don't allow anyone to talk about their stuff, and they don't actually see how useful it would be as free advertisement. It's like, you know, what happens with streamers and stuff, people reviewing games and stuff, it's very important to get the word out. And so, in this case, these Japanese companies that make these anime and stuff, they're very old-fashioned, and they have not really kept up with the times. However, with IShowSpeed doing this announcement and saying that his channel has been whitelisted to be able to have all of One Piece streamed on his platform, it's some pretty insane stuff. Now, I don't know exactly how much, like how much time he was given. I'm assuming he was given a certain amount of time to be able to stream. I was hearing news that he had 19 days, basically, to stream all of One Piece once it begins, which I don't believe that is enough time to stream all of One Piece. I believe if you were to sit down without eating, without sleeping, without even using the bathroom, and just full-blown watch One Piece back-to-back episode after episode, I believe it's about 3 weeks worth of time, total time, 2 to 3 weeks. That was at least the last time I checked. So I don't think 19 days is going to be enough to be able to have all of One Piece, but it is a pretty sizable chunk. With 2 weeks alone, you would easily be able to get way past the time skip and all that, most likely into Whole Cake Island, but I do think that in general, though, it is still insane news. Like, when I saw this news a few days ago, it took me by surprise. I was like, there's no way, there is no freaking way Toei Animation actually allowed this, but IShowSpeed even said in this video when he was streaming that, you know, he's going to show evidence that the producer, he met the producer, they gave him, like, evidence that, yes, he can stream One Piece and all that. He's like, this is real, which makes a lot of sense, because even before that happened, before that announcement happened, IShowSpeed had himself drawn, like, as Luffy as well, as a special card, like, by a card game artist. So, it goes to show that there definitely is some form of, like, I guess, collab going on with Speed and also Toei and One Piece in general, which is nice. I think legitimately this is overall great news. But the reason why I bring up the Totally Not Mark situation is because it seems like in general, Toei is shifting their perspective of how old-fashioned they are with the copyright system and trying to be a little bit more open arms about it. I mean, to be fair, thanks to this situation with Totally Not Mark, it did cause the entirety of the copyright system to kind of be changed. For instance, it did add a new rule to the copyright system. You can read it here. You can pause the video and read it. But it did change some things thanks to this situation that happened to him a few years back. So I do think in general, this is probably another reason for it, that Japan is trying to embrace other countries and embrace content creators to be able to get the word out, which I think is good. So, yeah, overall, amazing news, honestly. Today, it's not doom and gloom. It's not bad news. Like I said, I know I brought up the Totally Not Mark situation, which isn't necessarily good, but he did get all his stuff back. Everything got worked out in the end, and once again, a new rule was put into place to protect content creators, which helps everyone, honestly, on the platform on YouTube. But yeah, I'm happy for Speed. I'm legitimately happy for this man. I'm glad to see that he got this collab. I'm glad to see he's a big One Piece fan, because it's going to open the door up for a lot of people to experience One Piece for the first time. It's overall a net positive. I see this literally as an absolute win. That is exactly what this is. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, stay healthy, and I love you guys. Chibi out.